He has spent a 40-year career being a one-man band, and he joins us today. Randy Wallace is on the couch with Pat Crowley and I today on Northern Kentucky Magazine. And 40 years just singing your music and the music of all those musicians you love so much?
It's been great. It really has.
How'd you get into it?
Let's see. Well, when I was young, I desired to be a drummer. And my parents bought me a drum set, and that lasted a week. I think it was my dad that said, "I think you want to play keyboard." So I began taking lessons and fell in love with it.
And been doing it ever since.
Yes.
How'd you gravitate towards the spiritual side?
Well, I grew up in the church. I think I spent one day in a nursery. And I don't know if it was that the nursery worker said, "We can't handle this guy," or we were a smaller church, you know, as I grew up. And I always was in the church, I guess, all my life.
And who are some of your inspirations? I was reading on your website. You have actually a lot of your inspirations that you list are rock and roll musicians.
Yes, a great deal of different ones, you know, over the years. Elton John, when I was younger, I looked a little like him and ended up doing a lot of his stuff. And then as time went on, a lot of different influences, even now.
Your son was really cute. He emailed me and he said, "You've got to have my dad on. He's been playing it everywhere from church festivals to, you know, they're a big supporters to weddings and to corporate events, and you just must do it all."
My children all do.
Are your
music
biggest
too.
fans?
Oh, I'm their biggest fan too.
And they all play music as well?
Yes, my daughter sings. The boys, one plays bass and one plays drums.
Also, you let him play drums.
Yes.
A lot better than your dad, huh?
Yes.
A lot more patient than your dad.
Yeah, well, we had a downstairs at our house.
Now, when you play out, do you play, is it spiritual music mainly, or will you play anything for an event?
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We have a little group. There's a whole story behind the group, but we call ourselves Whosoever Will. And that's also the way the group works. If there's an area musician and we're playing, they have a guitar, bring the guitar, and we play together. So we end up doing everything from country to gospel there. Myself, I do a little bit of everything in a lot of different groups.
Found you on Gigmaster, found you on the CD Universe, and that is where your CD is actually available. Bringer of Light. Did you compose everything that's on this new CD?
There are two that actually I didn't. I'd done 4 records years ago from studio here locally, and then kind of hadn't done any more recording, you know, and still playing, but hadn't done any recording. And on my 25th anniversary with the church, they surprised me by booking a studio and the musicians and everything.
What a gift.
And so they requested 2 songs from other folks, so I wanted to be sure to get those on.
What church what church do you belong to?
Oak Ridge Baptist.
Okay.
In Taylorville.
Sure, yeah.
You know, you've been around 40 years, probably playing every kind of music in every kind of venue, and we've gone from the 8 tracks and records to the new MP3s, and I would think that, especially for you, being so seasoned, to be able to be available on MySpace and have your stuff there for people to just click and listen, it's got to be, it's such a gift.
We never saw it coming.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, everything has changed through the CD company. Of course, they farm that out to the different MP3 companies. I had a fellow that downloaded an album in Denmark the other day.
Oh my, isn't that amazing?
It's unreal.
Yeah.
It's come such a long way.
So you have worldwide fans.
Yes. Hope to meet him one day.
And how much does the music add to the worship service? I mean, is that just another way for people to pray and to relate to God when they hear the songs?
Oh, yes, yes. I'm actually the senior pastor now, which means I'm the old guy. But we have a minister of music, and I began as minister of music, youth, and education in our church. And I always appreciated the musical dimension. With our minister of music, he is so neat. When he came on board, I told him, I said, "Look, I'm not going to be looking over your shoulder. This is what you're to do, and this is what I do. But anytime I can help." So I do music sometimes at our church too.
I always found that there's a better way, not a better way, but another way, and sometimes a better way, to connect with the message.
Yes.
It makes it easier to understand sometimes.
I've had occasions where, as far as a sermon goes, it's been pushed aside and we just did all music.
Wow.
And that made for a special service.
Absolutely. The sung word is it's a beautiful part of our ministry, and I think
Yeah, because
every
you do a
church-
lot. You do a lot of weddings. You do a lot of funerals and
Yeah.
those
As
type
does,
of things.
as does my friend here.
Yeah.
Well, Randy, we are going to give you a chance to show everybody just why your son was so adamant to have you on this show. You sure have a great fan base that begins with your family, and we're going to hear exactly why when we come back. You'll be listening to Bringer of Light with Randy Wallace when we return to Northern Kentucky Magazine, right here on ICN 6.